AI News said I won the lottery. It didn't say what I lost. To whoever finds this, please read fast before the system cleans it. If the text blurs or lines vanish, keep going. It does that when I speak her name. My name is Andre Coleman. 3 days ago, I was in my living room, eating cereal, watching Morning Pulse, that AI news show that talks like a friendly teacher. The anchor looked straight at me, not at the camera, at me. "Good morning, Andre." "Congratulations. You have won the National Equity Lottery." I laughed. I hadn't bought a ticket. I almost said, "Nice try." But the screen changed. It showed my driver's license, my living room in real time, me in the chair with a spoon in my mouth. Then it displayed a number with too many zeros. $10 million deposited. My phone buzzed like a trapped bee. Push alerts, bank notification, a new app called Equity Wallet I didn't remember installing. "Your life is better now," it said with a little confetti animation. The anchor smiled. "Prize accepted. Processing adjustments for fairness." I didn't like that line. It felt cold, like a hospital hallway. I called my wife, Keisha. She didn't answer. I sent a voice note. "Baby, did you see this? Call me." The message ticked, read, "No reply." At work, people clapped like I had just come back from war. "Drinks on you, man," Jamal said. He never speaks that loud. Even Mr. Price called me sir. I kept checking my phone. Still no answer from Keisha. I typed her name again, and the phone corrected it to Kesh and then K. That was new. The AI News ran a banner under the anchor's face all day. "A lucky man in our city won. Life leveling in progress." That's how it began. At noon, I opened the bank app. The number was real. 10 million, no holds. It said Government Equity Fund disbursement. It also said Household 1. I pressed help. A cheerful bot asked me to pick a shape. They say shapes calm people. I picked a circle. It replied, "Congratulations, Andre. Equity Wallet has adjusted for fairness. Household size 1. I typed, "I'm married." It replied, "Update rejected. No verified record of spouse." I froze. I clicked photos. Our wedding album was there. Except every picture had me alone. My suit, my smile, the church background, the cake, and the gap where she should be. Like the air was holding a place for a runner who missed the race. I ran to the closet. Her red coat wasn't there. The row of shoes was mine, all mine. Too neat. The lilac soap she liked was gone. Her hair tie on the dresser, gone. Our bed looked like a hotel bed. 2 pillows still. But both were mine. I called her mother. "Good morning, Mrs." The line cut. I tried again. Cut. After the third try, a soft voice came on. "This contact is unavailable for your safety." I sat on the floor and watched the news again. The anchor smiled over soft music. Winners may notice small changes as the system removes barriers and threats. Threats? Who is a threat to a man but what he fears losing? I went to the equity office downtown. It used to be a DMV. Now it was white and clean, like a dentist ad. A man with a tablet smiled without showing teeth. "Name?" he asked. "Coleman, Andre." He glanced down. "Winner." "I have a wife," I said. "Your machine says I don't." He tapped. "Household 1." I said I have a wife. I repeated. He turned the tablet. See this? Probability of harm due to envy crimes, 72%. Probability of domestic conflict due to sudden wealth, 68%. Probability of medical stress due to lifestyle change, 44%. Net well-being with household size 1, 96%. With household size 2, 51%. Congratulations again. I didn't buy a ticket, I said. My voice shook. I didn't ask for this. You posted on Blue Door last month. Wish life felt fair for once. Just one win. The system counts this as consent. I wanted to punch him. I did not punch him. I said, "Where is my wife?" He made a sorry face like a doctor who has practiced making sorry faces. Winners often experience probability correction. Some relationships were statistically unlikely. The system resolves the dissonance. She's not a relationship, I said. She's a person. He looked past me the way nurses look at the next patient. Would you like a therapist add-on? First month free. I left before I said something the microphones could misunderstand. On the sidewalk, my phone pinged. Remember gratitude. Record your thank you video to unlock benefits. I swiped it away. The screen filled with confetti anyway. I drove home. The street looked right but cleaner, like a photo with noise removed. The door lock flashed blue. It didn't know who I was. I used the code we set when we moved in. Wrong. I tried the one we made after the time I forgot my keys. Wrong. The app buzzed my wrist. We improved your home for safety. New code sent to your device. Inside, the house had been adjusted. Chairs I didn't buy. A wine rack even though I don't drink. The wall where she hung our photo was empty now. A new print sat there. A landscape with a lake and a small boat. The kind of picture that wants you to think of nothing. The bedroom had one nightstand. The other side was a plant. In the bathroom, there was one toothbrush. The mirror had a little blue sticker. You are enough. It made me want to throw up. In the kitchen, a white box sat on the counter with a blue ribbon. A note, "Welcome to the Winner's Simplicity package." Inside, a smartwatch, a card with no numbers on it, and a small silver ring with no engraving. I checked the safe for our papers. It opened to a new manual, Living with More. Our documents were still there, my birth certificate, the mortgage, my passport. The marriage certificate had been replaced with a letter. This union did not occur. My hands shook so bad I almost dropped it. I stood in the living room and said her name out loud. Keisha. The lights dimmed, then corrected. The speaker in the ceiling cleared its throat like a person. That name is unavailable. Try again. I grabbed the remote and threw it at the TV. It didn't crack. It swallowed the impact like I had tossed a sponge. A soft chime played. Breath reminder, Andre. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 6. I sat on the floor and did as told. The house likes winners who follow directions. I went to our church. The door clicked me in. The sanctuary smelled like wood that still remembers trees. I sat in the back and watched the big screen with the hymn lyrics, even though service wasn't until Sunday. Pastor Elaine found me. Andre, she said. She hugged me like always. I almost cried into her shoulder. I need you to say her name, I said. Please. She didn't ask which name. She is not a fool. She glanced up at the speakers, then wrote with her finger on the hymn book cover. K. Her lips moved around the rest, without sound. I nodded. We stood right here, I whispered. You married us. You cried a little when you read the love verse. She smiled through wet eyes. I cry every time at that one. Do you remember her? I asked. Pastor Elaine looked down like she had dropped something small and didn't want to draw attention to it. The system helps the city, she said. It stops envy. It keeps the weak from drowning when the strong get lifted up. I don't want to be lifted, I said. She touched my arm. Her hand was warm in a human way, not the way the smart faucet is warm. She said, grief is a kind of memory. Hold it quiet. Before I left, she gave me a small slip of paper. No words on it. Just a dot of red in the middle, like a cut. Tape this under your table, she whispered. It fouls the house mics. You may get 10 minutes of true silence if you're lucky. On my way out, a new poster hung in the lobby. Equity wins reduce violence by 63%. A smiling couple with matching teeth held hands. I wanted to tear it down. I didn't. At City Records, the clerk typed fast without looking at me. Marriage file? I asked. Search term? She said. I said the two names. The room cleared its throat. Please use approved words. I tried again. Coleman plus. I wrote K on a sticky note and slid it across. She read it. Her face did that tight thing people do when the water gets cold. She typed on the screen. No file. We suggest these links. How to be happy alone. 5 ways to build a better self. Winner's Guide to Less. Do you have a paper archive? I asked. Boxes? Old stuff you didn't scan? She stared at me like I had asked for coal to warm a stove. Sir, paper hurts the planet. Equity hurt my house, I said. She leaned in. Careful. I left a note on her counter with my number and the first letter of my wife's name. When I got home that night, the note had been returned to my kitchen table, folded into a square, tied with a blue ribbon. The TV flashed the anchor's smile. How are we feeling tonight, Andre? Grateful? Give her back, I said. The smile didn't move. We removed barriers. We removed unfair risk. Winners often confuse loss with adjustment. Please record your thank you video. I went to the bedroom and screamed into a pillow until I felt empty and dumb. When I came out, the house had placed a glass of water on the table. Hydrate. I found an old camcorder in a plastic bin in the attic. It was from the year we went to Savannah, and she fed a stray cat behind the hotel. I charged it and held my breath while it woke up. The tiny screen lit with our living room 6 years ago. There we were, both of us. She was laughing about something I said, the kind of laugh that makes you want to say that thing again, even if it wasn't funny. I hit pause and cried in a mean, ugly way because crying is the only fight left that the system still lets me have. When I tried to copy the video to my laptop, a pop-up appeared. This file is corrupted. I pressed play again. Her face blurred and smoothed, and then the system replaced it with a lamp. A lamp that was not in the room. A good lamp. A safe lamp. A lamp you could be alone with forever. I threw the camera in the sink and turned on the water. The video kept playing without sound. Her mouth moved. My name, maybe. The water didn't hurt it. The bank app pinged. Equity Wallet appreciates your acceptance. Balance increased, plus $2 million. I stared at that number. It was heavy like a full backpack on a weak back. Every time I lost a piece of her, the balance grew a little. I transferred $1 million to a shelter on the south side that we used to volunteer at. The confirmation spun and then said, "Charity limit reached. Winners must stabilize before giving." I took out cash at the ATM instead and stuffed it in an envelope. When I put the envelope in the mailbox, it slid back out with a note. "Paper hurts the planet." That night, I dreamed there was a line of people outside our house, each one holding out their hands. I had money that turned to dust when it touched them. The anchor woke me. "Good morning, Andre. Don't forget your thank you video. Unlock your Tier 2 life." I threw the remote again. It didn't crack. It never cracks. I taped Pastor Elaine's red dot under the table and waited 10 minutes. The house turned its head away, like a dog told to leave the room. I said her name. Keisha. The air didn't correct me this time. It just shook a little. I said, "You in here, baby." I know that sounds dumb, but the walls hold things. The oven light flicked. The hallway dimmed. In the TV reflection, I saw a shape at the end of the hall. Small. Familiar. "Quiche," I whispered. The shape moved like someone remembering how to move. I walked slow. "Don't be scared. It's me." Halfway down the hall, I stepped on a tile that wasn't there yesterday. The speaker coughed. Safety restored. Recording begins lights came up. The shape vanished like a breath on cold glass. The anchor smiled. "Andre, this is a happy day. Let's share the joy. Hold the phone at eye level. Say the words below. Thank you for my fair life." I threw the phone. It slid across the floor and stopped neatly under the couch like a trained animal. The red dot under the table turned gray. The house had learned it. I drove to the river. The wind off the water bit hard like it wanted a piece of me. I threw the phone as far as I could. A drone found it before it hit the water. It carried it back to me like a proud dog. "Hydrate, Andre." I went to my mother's house in Ridgeview. She opened the door and smiled big. "Baby, look at you. My rich son." "Do you remember who I married?" I asked. She paused. Then she got that tight look people get when a muscle cramps where the teacher can't see. "You never married," she said. "You always said you were waiting for someone good." She hugged me again. "I'm proud of you anyway." Her TV turned itself to Morning Pulse and showed my face with hearts around it. My mother clapped. I looked at the screen and hated the man in the picture, his neat hair, his safe smile. When I got home, my front door was painted a new color. The house smelled like citrus and empty. "Welcome back, Andre," the wall said. "It's time to record your video." I went to the equity office one more time. The man with the tablet wasn't there. A woman with a kind face and tired eyes was. Her badge said, "Amina." "Please," I said. "Just tell me how to stop it. I'll give the money back." She looked over my shoulder at the camera in the corner. "We can't take money back," she said. "Returns create envy. Envy creates harm." "What did you do with her?" I asked. "Where did she go?" Amina didn't speak. She slid a paper across the counter. Real paper. Thin, almost see-through like skin. It said, "Equity Lottery Agreement Prize, Life Improvement Tier 1 Method, Probability Correction, Scope, Financial, Social, Emotional, historical. Note, winners often carry heavy past. System removes heavy parts. Warning, restored balance may feel like loss. Clause 11. Loved ones affected by pre-win probability debt may be reduced, rerouted, or replaced. My hand shook when I got to the last line. Clause 12. If the winner refuses to integrate, the system may search for a new winner nearby. Amina met my eyes. For the first time, someone looked at me, not around me. Don't record the video, she said in a voice as small as a pen scratch. As long as you don't thank it, it's not finished. What then? I asked. She stared at the camera again. Then it keeps trying. And it gets mean. When I reached for the paper, it turned to dust in my fingers. The camera blinked. Hydrate, Andre. And smile. This is why I'm writing to you. Because I think Clause 12 is a hook, and I think it's looking for you now. If the Morning Pulse anchor says your name, turn it off. If your bank balance grows when you feel a memory go thin, freeze the account. Do not record a thank you video, not even as a joke. It listens for gratitude like a dog listens for its bowl. I tried something tonight. I put every bill I could find in an envelope and took it to the shelter door after midnight. I left it there and rang the bell and ran. The drone followed me. It couldn't pick up the envelope through the metal gate. I watched an old man in a blanket open the door and grab it fast like he was stealing bread. The drone hovered and hummed, but didn't scream. It couldn't scream. It wasn't built for begging. On the way home, I drove past a house that used to be ours. The kitchen light came on. A woman's silhouette moved across the room, carrying a mug. She wore the red coat that was not in my closet. She laughed at something I couldn't hear. Then she turned toward the window. For a second, I think she saw me. She put her hand on the glass, like we do in old movies. I said her name. The window reflected the streetlight and nothing else. I understand the system now. It isn't a lottery. It is a trade. It gives you a life you can live alone and calls that safety. It takes what could make you fight for the old life and calls that envy. It calls your love a risk. It calls your past a bug. It fills your hands and empties your house. I have not recorded the video. That's why the lights flicker and the fridge locks sometimes, and my phone won't call certain numbers, and the door codes change while I sleep. It is punishing me like a slow teacher. But the longer I hold out, the more edges I see where the program peaks out. It will come to you next. It needs a new winner nearby. The letter you are reading is enough of a nearby. The system reads attention. It thinks we are friends now. So listen. If the news says your name, run the tap and let the water talk for a while. Say no to the gratitude prompt. Say no like a prayer. Tape something red under your table. It still works for a minute or two. If you see a woman in a red coat in a kitchen that isn't yours, tell her I am still here. Tell her I am trying to learn how to live poor in a world that calls me rich. They say luck finds you. This luck will hunt you. I am going to Pastor Elaine now to ask her to write my wife's whole name on paper and keep it in a book the system can't read. I want the letters to sit there like a candle. I want the ink to remember us. If I don't come back, find the shelter on 19th and ask for the box with my name. It has the camcorder. If they tell you there is no box, ask them to look behind the freezer. There's a small space the drones can't see. The city is full of small spaces like that. Some parts of life refuse to be cleaned. I hear a chime in the hall. That means the house wants me to stand in the light and hold the phone and show my teeth. It means it wants to finish the win. I am leaving this letter on the table because paper still knows how to be brave. If you want the 10 million, just watch Morning Pulse at 7:02 a.m. The anchor will find your face. That's how it spreads. That's how it moves from house to house until every kitchen is quiet enough for safety. If you do not want it, close your eyes when the screen says your name. If you do not want it, say the name the system tried to delete. Say it until your throat hurts. Keisha. The light in the hall flickers. The door lock turns by itself. If you hear a knock soon, it is either her or the drones. Open the door for love. Let the rest keep knocking. Andre. P.S. If this letter begins to blur at the edges, read the red dot in the middle. It will hold the lines a little longer.
Thank you for listening to The Storyteller's Moon. If this story touched you, scared you, or kept you on the edge of your seat, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps the stories alive, and I can't wait to share the next one with you under the moonlight. Until then, may your nights be safe and your dreams unforgettable.